Hey, good morning, folks. This is AJ, the CEO. I am here at church, and I'm going to be working here all day until it's time for me to get my daughter from school. So let's see what we're going to get into today. I had a comment sent to me yesterday asking about how to use Propresenter to actually, with your ATEM, to do lower thirds. So what I want to do is just take a second and just break this apart and just show you just how simple it is to get this stuff set up. So let's go ahead and cut over to the computer. All right, so first I'm here on the ATEM controller software. So I have the CPUs coming in right now, and I'm going to show this after the fact so you can see how all this is put together. The first thing we're going to be using is this DSK1. That is going to be your downstream keyer. This is what you use to layer the image of a given source on top of everything. Now again, I'm using the older ATEM television studios, so the newer ones, the ATEM Mini and any of the other ones, this will work the exact same way, and you probably have more features than this. So inside of here, we go to the downstream keyers. As you can see, we're using the field source as our Propresenter, which is the same thing as the CPU over here, and our key source is exactly the same thing. That's all we changed over here. All right, so now if I come over here to Propresenter, and I'm gonna do this as lyrics and scripture, but you could do the same thing as lower thirds. We don't do this as in lower thirds, but we honestly, we really could. So in here, I have a template called rectangle, and let's go edit the whole thing. So inside of here, what the downstream keyer does is anywhere where there's black, it erases it so it can look through transparently. So for example, if you wanted to have animated lower thirds, kind of like what I do here on the screen, something like that, that would work if you played a video in Propresenter or just a still image, and that's kind of like what we use. So anyway, so if I go here and let's say I'm gonna go ahead and just make one. So let's make a new slide, and we're gonna call this template label. No, I don't want to call it that. I have to come back here. So anyway, I'm gonna pick my font, and I think I've recently been changing to Product Sans. I like that font. So I'm gonna pick my font. I'm gonna make it bold, and for this I want to do it to the left. Excuse me. And I'm gonna drop it down to about right here. And I think that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. So here, this will be the name that I give. And what I'm gonna do is put a background box behind this whole thing. Because again, remember, the way the ATEM works, anything where it's black, it erases. So you wanna be careful with shadows, any stuff like that, because if the shadow is black, it will be erased. And I should have just copied this here so I knew exactly, so I have the exact same thing. So let's delete this and we're gonna paste. All right, so this is just the one that we've used, and let's move this behind. All right, and we want to make sure that this text is confined to our box. I guess I should move this all the way over. All right, so that means anything we put inside of here will be at this level. Now I could always add another text box here, and what I'm going to use is call this is the title of what they are, and we're just going to make this a little bit smaller. Let's do 55. All right. I'm going to shrink this one as well. So I might need to make this box a little bit bigger. Alright, so actually might want to do a two-tone box now that I think about it, because I'm already using the specific colors anyway. So our fill is, so I don't want to use white. Excuse me, I don't want to use black, but I think putting text on top of it may work. But I just want to be careful with that. So our color here, and they don't give me hex colors. No. Oh well, I'm gonna have to come back because I don't know the hex color here. So here's our stuff here. So we have the person's name is gonna go here, and then this is gonna go into their title. Yeah. We call this speaker name. Alright. And then we'll do speaker title. Alright. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just make a new type of title. So I'll just say let's do L3 for lower third. Well, let's just do lower third. James Sales, our pastor. All right. So now I'm gonna pick the template that we just made right there, and I'll just call it presentation. Well, I'll make a new category. Call it lower thirds. If I spell thirds right. All right, call it lower thirds. All right, new. So now inside of here, let's edit this. And we're gonna do man, my typing is really off. Now I am holding the phone at the same time. All right, so we have here, and we're gonna say pastor. All right, now I'm doing it this way. If you just had an image, you would just upload the image and you wouldn't need to do all this. So I'm just doing it the long way for you. All right, so there's his lower third. So now, if I switch over so you can actually see the results of this, we're gonna go full screen here, and then we're gonna bring up this lower third. So that's the way it looks. Now what I'm gonna do is I have a camera on. Now I'm gonna switch to our static camera so y'all are seeing that. And what we're gonna do now is, oh, hold on. So you're seeing that right now. And if I cut over here, so what I'm gonna do is hit this auto or on air. On air just comes straight on. Auto makes it fade in. That's all I'm gonna do. So I hit auto. And now, when we cut back over to our graphic, you see that's how it is right there, because we're using the computer. Now let's switch over to our back camera. And there you go. That's how easy it is to actually just put a lower third on using Propresenter. Now again, you can use this with this. You can make a file for each one, or kind of like what I do. I have an image made through a template through After Effects. I can always get the last image, which makes me think I probably should do that this way. That way I don't have to worry about the color and all this other stuff. But anywhere it's black, it's erased. And then just having it linked as the source is your Propresenter computer, which is coming into your ATEM, as well as the key, and make sure everything else is black. And that's how you can put your lower third on there. So hopefully that helps. Really simple to do. And I hope that answered the question of the person who asked. And I can't remember their name right now, but I will have it on here on the screen so you can see. And that was, I haven't done it in a while, but that was AJ's answers. So let's get back into some other stuff today. All right, so I got another TP-Link smart outlet. So I'm gonna get the ladder, add this in between the Orei XD700 for this for our back camera. So now all of our converters will be on the schedule that turns on at 6, so this one won't just be on all the time. So actually, I probably need to set it up here. That will probably be easier because I know I need to reset this and get rid of the old settings. Alright, so go ahead and plug that in, and we're just gonna hold on this button so it resets. There it goes. Now it's back to reset, and I'm gonna go to the app and set it up and add it to the collection. Alright, I got it all set up now oh no, they took the ladder. I need to find the ladder now. And put this up here, over here, whatever. And they got it roped off, so I need to go around the other way. Most likely move the ladder back on the other side of the church. Time for the track. They're gonna be mad because they cleaned the floor already, but I need to get up under here. Ooh. All right, so everything is up under here. Let's get that out of the way, and it fell off here. So we're gonna be plugging the smart adapter into this, because as you can see, it's just always on, and this will cause it to shut off. The only thing else that's plugged in down here is the camera, the Canon G20, which we leave plugged in anyway because we don't want the battery to drain, because it just mainly keeps the settings. The battery is in there just for the settings, and that's about it. So if it lost power, the battery will last long so it doesn't reset, but we don't use it with the battery at all. So let me just go ahead and plug this in there, take that little plug out, plug this in, and that's it. All right, all plugged in, and it's not on. Actually, I need to move this plug so it's easier to get access to. So this is going to the access point that's hanging right there. This is to the Canon G20, and then here's the plug. So let's go ahead and turn that on. And I already set the schedule up, so this will turn off and then turn back on. That block of wood that we put up there to hold the mount, the camera. And there you go, it's on. I really need to come in here and clean up a lot of this stuff. Alright, really simple. And now all of the cameras, the converters are on a schedule, so don't have to worry about them being on all the time. I bumped up the schedule, so now they shut off at 2 a.m. and they turn back on at 6 a.m. So it just gives them 4 hours of rest without them being on. And again, as I said, they've been on non-stop until I put these in place. So yay. Alright, so while I had the ladder, just want to show you up close. This is the Marshall camera that obviously has not been dusted in quite a minute. And then here's the G20. Here's the Servo City arm that we have. Ethernet is what powers this whole thing and sends the controls. Then all of the other cables here. This is the link control coming down. No, actually this is the HDMI. This is the power for the camera here, and there's the link control that goes over there. if I had this to do again, and I might do it, is come in here, widen this up, and kind of do the same thing I did at Good Shepherd. Open this up, and grommet just fell off. What I would do is widen this up, put a jack here, and this isn't necessarily a pass-through, but what I would do is put one of the brush pass-through plates here, and then run all the cables. So all these cables going through here, all the ones that are coming down up under here, I would pass all through here, as well as this and the power. Now what I need to do, and I don't really have time to do it today, is I need to take this camera down, and on the back, you can see there, it's controls under here to operate the menu. I need to pull this down and just make sure everything is working, because the image seems to be off a little bit in comparison to what it used to be when we first got it installed. So just doing different maintenance around here. Need to come up here and clean these cameras, and I'd hate to you have to get the ladder up there to clean that one, because if this one is dusty as it's been since 2015, I'm sure the other one, or actually 2014, I'm sure will have just as much dirt and all this other stuff. Should I do it? Yeah, as you can see, a bunch.